victory. I just got another victory. Opposition say they sick of me. We turn their future to history. They try to hit me, they missing me. Ooh, they in the way. They getting stepped on back in the day. We who they slept on. You see my place. It's never.
We're going to get into it once again, Knicks Deli style. All right, so it was a great night last night for these boys. Several of them stood out. Jalen Brunson wasn't available for last game. He was available for this one. He reminded everybody. So we're going to jump into it. Let's start out with our bacon, egg, and cheese, right? Who were the three players of the game that together made this thing bust and helped us get this victory, all right? So let me know who was your bacon, who was one of the first three. My three bacon, egg, and cheese of the game are Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and Emmanuel Quickly. Those are the bacon, egg, and cheese. Let's start with Jalen Brunson, okay? Jalen Brunson is my bacon of the game today. Last night he had a career high, 38 points. Had a career high. One-on-one in the last game, Mikal Bridges had said that he's the best one-on-one player in the league right now. You know, it's that type of respect that's given from your opponents that is going to start putting us on the map. They know that there is no easy victory when you come into the New York Knicks arena or when you're facing New York on the calendar. There's no easy victories, okay? But Jalen Brunson wanted to make a statement last night, okay? Now, many of us who were watching the game, we're looking at that and say, okay, is that sustainable basketball? There were certain points where we were just like, all right, buddy, you need to get your teammates involved, all right? But I'm going to tell you what I was thinking. I'm thinking that Jalen Brunson was sitting on that bench in San Antonio. And he watched them young boys at the guards position come in and moonwalk all over the Knicks last game. When we went to San Antonio, they were moonwalking all over us. I mean, hitting the mic joint, looking away, throwing their caps in the crowd. They were performing on us and our guards early. And you know that when Jalen Brunson was healthy, him and Randall set the tone for us in terms of our wins. They're the primary scorers early in the game that set the tone so that other players can come in, get in a rhythm, get through their sets, and be relaxed, contributing to what their roles are. We didn't have that when we were in San Antonio. So the young boys got out, and they thought that their fresh legs, and they were right, their fresh legs helped run it up. They were accurate. They were running us up and down the floor in San Antonio. So I could tell while watching this game, Jalen Brunson was like, not today, buddy. Let me show you what you were missing last game. Let me show you why this game is going to be a little bit different in terms of the outcome of last game. And he did that. Last game, we even fought to come back, but we just couldn't get over the top. We just couldn't hit timely shots. And that's what Jalen Brunson brings to the team. My Denzel again. That's what Jalen Brunson brings to the team. That is exactly what he brings to the team. And everybody in the league knows it now. Someone who is going to hit a shot in important moments of the game. 3-point shot, mid-range, drive, hit the layup. Struggling with the free throws right now, though. He's struggling with the free throws right now. He's frustrated, which I love, but it's a little bit concerning. You can be frustrated, but you got to improve it, okay? I'm no NBA player, so I can only talk about it. I know it's easier said than done, but he has to work on it. Okay? So that's what Jalen Brunson brought last night. Jalen Brunson, 38 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists from the point guard position. Come on. From the point guard position. Do y'all hear that? 2 years ago when we had that magical run, it was magical. The city was lit. We had that run to the playoffs with the point guards that we had, and we still were on fire with that team. The bane of my existence was that our point guard production was nil. We couldn't score. We were no threat to score. That's why Atlanta spanked us, because there was no production from the point guard position other than Derrick Rose, who was playing his heart out coming off the bench. But we got that now. We got a point guard that they got to watch for at 6'1". At 6'1". there was people. There were people who doubt in bringing this man on, giving him that contract at 6'1". And he showed up and he showed out. But last night was a message to the Spurs. Not today. Not today. And it was close at the end of the game because that team is coached by a Hall of Fame player. And they got young talent. They got young dogs on their team. Their record is only what it is because they don't have experience. That young kid, Sohan, last game I looked at it, I'm like, yo, bro, you got the green hair, you got the number 10, you got the tight shorts. Everything you're doing is looking like Rodman now. Don't come with that look and that image and that likeness, name, image, likeness, if you ain't about that life. And last night he started off on Jalen Brunson. And that shows you a little bit about the Hall of Fame coaching. That shows you about the Hall of Fame coaching. Because the scouting report on Jalen Brunson seems to be put a player with long arms, tall player with long arms on him to guard him, defensive oriented, and disrupt him at least from penetrating the basketball, pressure him, and let's see how he does. He'd be putting him on skates though. He'd be putting him on skates. I love it. I love it. Now, I'm hoping that that's only reflective of that game, and that they try to remedy the style of play based on the opponent. If you watched the film last game, you knew what the areas of improvement needed to be. You needed to attack this team early. You needed to attack them with your strengths, your guard, your power forward, all right? Your height in terms of rebounding, the basketball, okay? Defensive pressure so that you force them to make good decisions because they're an inexperienced team. Those are the things that I'm thinking that the New York Knicks went into this game locked in on. But Jalen Brunson came in and he applied the pressure. He needed to hit his free throws. But Jalen Brunson, you are the bacon of the bacon, egg, and cheese. Let's go. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this after, put in here who's your bacon of the game. Who's one of the three that when put together with a perfect ingredient to help us secure this win. So shout out one more time for Jalen mother flipping Brunson. Next up is the egg. Who's the egg of the egg? The bacon, egg, and cheese. And that for me is Julius Randle. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care how lazy you may be. I don't care how lack of technology you may know, or if you don't have the time. We need to vote these two cats to the All-Star game. Okay? Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson. All right? If you follow me, I voted all five. I put Julius in there, RJ, Jalen Brunson, you know, who else we got in the starter? Grimes. I put him in there, and Mitch. All right? I don't care. Other teams vote for their people. I voted for all my people. Forget KD. Okay? Vote, vote, vote. Vote these cats into the All-Star game. Okay? Julius Randle is on a tear. He is on a tear like he was in 2 years ago. All right? Some people are like, I think he was playing better than he was 2 years ago. I think he's getting there. At this point right now, I don't think he's playing as good as he was 2 years ago, only because he was hitting Kobe-esque type shots 2 years ago. I mean, people were draped all on him, draped all over him defensively, and he was hitting shots. He was hitting shots falling out of bounds. He kept drawing fouls and still hitting the shots. The number of and-ones he had that season was crazy. But Julius Randle senses that he's in that zone, and you could tell it in his game. He's not necessarily rushing it. He only has points in time where he's forcing the game. All right. For the most part, he's allowing the game to come to him. Jalen Brunson couldn't have been a better prescription to whatever ailed Julius Randle. He couldn't have been a better prescription for Julius's sickness. He's taken the pressure off of him. He knows that there's somebody else who can carry the scoring burden so that he could just stay in his bag and pressure. And now that he sees the All-Star game in his sights, he's putting in extra effort. The last victory that we had in the last minute, rushing down the floor on the defensive end to intercept the pass. Within the last minute, game already secured. He want to let people see I'm still working. My work isn't stopping until that buzzer goes off. This game, this man had 4 blocks. 4 blocks. Julius Randle. Defensive end is now being elevated to match the offense. 25 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 4 blocks. Stat stuffer. If I was a fantasy basketball player, it'd be a wrap having Julius on the team. You got to start putting some respect on this man's name. He's back and the fans are back with him. I love it. A few days ago, I posted, a YouTube short of him interview Rebecca Harlow after the game. And she said, what's the best part of just this resurgence, this resurrection of the team and solid NBA basketball play? What's the best part of this experience for you? And he said, playing in Miss G in front of these fans. Crowd went crazy. That's what you do. My post said, that's how a big brother apologizes for what he did wrong to the little brother. He don't just come out outright and say, you know what, I'm sorry. My bad, man, I'm sorry. He lets you know, like, I know I messed up. But we're going to rock again. You can come in here and play PS5 with me again. You know, anybody who got little brothers or little siblings, you know how that is. You get them mad, but you know you love them. You got to find a way to kind of get them back in your good graces without having to apologize or prove, admit you were wrong. That's how you do it. Okay? That's what he did. So we back with him. Right now, he's part of this formula. Okay? And he's serious about winning. So in this game, man, Julius Randle really stepped up. He's just all over the place. He's all over the place in a good way. He did try to break out that spin. I think one time a game, he always tests that spin move. And every time I throw up a little bit in my mouth when he does. Last night, it ended up into a foul. So he was able to get away with, like, it would have worked if I hadn't got fouled. But he hit that spin move, and I be seeing it coming in slow motion. It's like I'm watching the TV, and I'm like, no. He's just like, yeah. I can't take it. I can't take that damn spin move. But Julius Randle is the egg of the game. Once again, this man had 25 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 4 blocks. What more can you ask for? He is probably in the top 5 of the power forwards playing the game right now in the NBA. He's looking like he's hitting his Into the Dragon like glow, his super glow. The last dragon, or whatever it was back in the day. He's hitting that Neo. He's starting to believe. You know, like you're like, what's happening? What's happening with Julius? Like he's starting to believe that at his position, there ain't nobody that can guard him. Kobe even said it, like that he's a grown-ass man. He was, as a rookie, he was playing like a grown-ass man. And when he realizes his skill set matches with the coaching and the right pieces around you, it's going to be a problem for the league. Right now, it's becoming a problem for the league. Julius Randle is in that space. He's going to be an all-star. Whether the fans voted in, his peers, or the coaches, Julius Randle will represent the New York Knicks in the all-star game. And alongside him will be Jalen mother-flipping Brunson, the bacon and the egg of the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese here in Knicks Deli this morning. Okay? Now we're going to look at what's the cheese of this sandwich. And the cheese is Emmanuel Quickley. Emmanuel Quickley had a good game last night. I don't have his stats up here. But I believe he had about maybe 15 points, 13, 15 points, something like that. Emmanuel Quickley, I don't need stats to talk about what he's been doing and contributing in this stretch. He's in a different space right now. For the most part, mostly, he's been efficient from shooting. Last night, I don't think he was. But I think last night, his impact was on the defensive end. And that's what you've been getting from Quick all season. A little bit of inconsistency, maybe a little bit up and down in terms of his scoring output. But it's what has remained stable is his defensive ability. And that was something coming out of Kentucky that a lot of people didn't talk about with Quick. If you watch his draft profile, his draft prospect profile, the man's coming from Kentucky. You got to play defense if you're playing for Calipari, first and foremost, all right? But the man coming from Kentucky, he's already at 6'3", 6'4", but he has long arms. He got those go-go gadget arms, all right? And he has that desire to play defense. I'm going to get in your face. I'm going to disrupt you. I'm going to put my hand in your face. I'm going to compete and contest your shot. And when he steps on the floor, he has that as effervescent of a player as we know IQ to be. He got that dog in him. When he's on the other side of his opponent, he don't want to lose that contest. And I love that. But you could be as good of a spirit as you want, but when that person is in front of you, you make their life miserable. I can't wait for Obi to get back in the rotation and start up again, because I think that's something that he needs to get from IQ. He plays with the joy of the game, but when you got your opponent in front of you, you need to punish him. You need to punish him and let him know that when you coming down the floor with the ball, this ain't no easy matchup. And that's what IQ did last night, filling in the blanks. Hit a timely shot when you need to. Hit that floater. If that three-pointer ain't going down, penetrate, drive, hit that floater. I love how Tom Thibodeau was using him. He's using him interchangeably. He could play with starters. He could play him with the bench. Tom Thibodeau said in a press conference the other night, I don't know what IQ is. He is an NBA player. He could play the point guard. He could play the two. I could mix him in with the starters. He could play up tempo. He could play a slow game. He could hit the three-point shot. He could go in and hit the floater. His passing ability and his vision is improving. His setting up and his feel for the other players only comes when you keep players together and they become more familiar with each other's game. That doesn't happen in a season. It's an anomaly if it does. What happened in Toronto with Kawhi was a situation where you brought in a superstar. Superstars are superstars for a reason. They're going to be super in any environment. But the rest of that team, for the most part, was kept together. And their familiarity with each other, and you input a superstar into that sauce, that's what makes success. And that's the direction that the New York Knicks are heading in. You have a team who's been kept together for a number of years. They're starting to grow and mature into their NBA selves, into their NBA manhood. And they've been around this NBA world for a couple of rotations. So they're familiar with the game. They're familiar with their nutrition. They're familiar with the NBA life. They know now how to fit in basketball, make basketball their world with all their other responsibilities. That's what you have when you have a team that's been together going through this journey together. And we're almost primed to drop a superstar in the middle of this recipe. And we may have a Kawhi in Toronto type of situation. We're almost there. But Emmanuel quickly continues to be a filler. I'm going to give to you what we need to make this game successful and to win. So there you have it, my bacon, egg, and cheese of the game. Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and Emmanuel Quickly.